Her service, her tolerance, her commitment to others.
And that's how you have to be so careful that you give them a spread of things to do.
A royal maid has finally spilled the tea on Prince William. And it's not the fairy tale you'd expect. After years of silence, shocking secrets from behind palace doors are coming to light. What really went on inside Anmer Hall? Stay tuned. You won't believe this. Subscribe now. Saadi Rice was once a trusted member of the royal household, serving Prince William and Duchess Catherine. But after 2 years of dedicated service, she's now breaking her silence. According to Saadi, life behind the palace walls wasn't the fairy tale everyone imagines. The glamour, the grandeur, it all masked a darker reality of relentless demands and unending work. Imagine working tirelessly day and night, with no time for yourself, all to serve a family who rarely acknowledged the sacrifices you made. For Saadi, the pressure kept mounting. The royal family's needs became her sole priority, pushing her personal life to the back burner. Yet, despite her unwavering loyalty, her efforts often went unnoticed.
People will get fed up, and all these young feel nothing is ever happening, so of course they're going to get frustrated.
Now, after walking away from one of the most prestigious roles in the country, Saadi is ready to reveal what truly happened behind closed doors. What was the breaking point? And why did she choose to speak out now? Stay tuned. Truth is more shocking than you could ever imagine. Anmer Hall, a picturesque mansion nestled in the English countryside, is the epitome of royal elegance. With 10 sprawling bedrooms, manicured gardens, and priceless decor, it seems like a dream home. But for Saadi, it became a place of endless work and invisible labor. While the public admired the royal residence for its charm and sophistication, Saadi saw the other side, the relentless cycle of cleaning, cooking, and maintaining a perfect facade. Every day began with polishing silverware, scrubbing marble floors, and preparing meals fit for royalty. And it didn't stop there.
I know that in the position I'm in, that's what's required of me to do, and I think
Even after the family retired for the night, Saadi's work continued, ensuring every room was spotless, every garment was pressed to perfection, and every schedule was meticulously planned. Despite the grandeur surrounding her, she felt trapped in a life of constant demands, with no personal time or space to breathe. The perfect home on the outside hid a world of exhaustion and burnout on the inside. Was it really worth the sacrifice? Saadi's decision to leave would ultimately answer that question. Saadi Rice had always been known for her dedication and work ethic. When she first joined the royal household, she was thrilled to work for the Duke and Duchess. But over time, the demands started piling up. It began with small requests, covering extra shifts, working longer hours, attending to every little detail without fail. But those small requests soon became unspoken expectations.
it came about from a desire to see more change and to...
Suddenly, Saadi found herself working at both Anmer Hall and Kensington Palace, running back and forth to accommodate the family's needs. What started as a manageable workload spiraled into an overwhelming burden. Saadi's personal life quickly became a distant memory. She missed family gatherings, skipped personal events, and sacrificed weekends, all for the royal family. The pressure to be available 24/7 was relentless. Even on her supposed days off, she was expected to be on call, just in case. The breaking point came when Saadi realized that her life had become solely about serving the royal family. She had no time for herself, no personal space to unwind. Every waking moment was devoted to keeping up with the increasing demands, and it became too much to bear. After 2 years of pushing herself to the limit, she finally decided enough was enough. Saadi knew she had to leave, before she lost herself completely in the royal household's endless demands.
Not just interest, but of service, of understanding, the way that people...
Working for the royal family isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle. For Saadi, that lifestyle meant putting the royal family's needs above everything else, including her own well-being. The unspoken rule was clear. You're there to serve, not to be seen. Saadi was expected to be present but invisible, always ready to attend to any request without hesitation. From organizing elaborate meals to maintaining royal artifacts, her duties demanded absolute perfection. And the expectations didn't end there. Every task had to be carried out flawlessly, without complaint. The laundry? It wasn't just washing clothes. It was preserving expensive fabrics worth more than her monthly salary. The cleaning? It wasn't just dusting and sweeping. It was maintaining historical pieces and priceless antiques with meticulous care.
It's always been a major ambition.
Even grocery shopping was a high-stakes affair, as Saadi had to select the finest ingredients to ensure the family's meals met royal standards. But the most difficult expectation was the emotional labor. Saadi had to keep her personal struggles hidden, always maintaining a calm and composed exterior, no matter how exhausted she felt inside. The pressure to be perfect was constant, and the line between personal life and professional duty blurred more and more each day. Ultimately, Saadi realized that serving the royals meant sacrificing her own identity, a sacrifice she was no longer willing to make. After 2 years of relentless work, Saadi Rice reached a breaking point. The once coveted role of serving Prince William and Duchess Catherine had become a suffocating experience. On the surface, she was a royal maid.
And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this process.
A position most people would envy. But beneath the polished exterior was a woman drowning under the weight of endless expectations. Saadi knew she had to make a choice, continue in a role that consumed her every waking moment, or walk away to reclaim her life. And while the royal household tried to convince her to stay, Saadi had already made up her mind. Her personal life had taken a backseat for too long, and she could no longer ignore the toll it was taking on her mental and emotional health. Leaving the royal family meant leaving behind a prestigious title and a life of perceived luxury. But for Saadi, it also meant finding herself again, away from the constant demands and endless work. She submitted her resignation, packed her bags, and walked away from a job that many would consider a dream. But for her, it had become a nightmare. When Saadi Rice's resignation became known, the royal family maintained their typical stance: silence.
We need to give up what we can't do, which is very negative. And all of us, as much as we will try, even if...
No public statements, no official acknowledgement, but behind the scenes, her departure caused a ripple effect. Finding trusted staff who understood royal protocols and routines was no easy task. And with the Cambridge family preparing to move to Kensington Palace, the timing couldn't have been worse. For Prince William and Duchess Catherine, Saadi's departure wasn't just the loss of a staff member, it was the loss of someone who had become a crucial part of their daily life. But while the royal family carried on with their duties, Saadi was finally free to rebuild her life. And as she stepped away from the royal household, she left behind more than just a vacant position. She left a powerful message about the cost of serving royalty. Saadi Rice's story isn't just a personal experience, it's a powerful statement about the hidden cost of serving royalty. On the surface, working for the royal family might seem like a dream job.
And we must be courageous. And as the moonshot inspired a great...
A life surrounded by luxury, grandeur, and a front-row seat to British history. But for those behind the scenes, the reality is a stark contrast to the public perception. For Saadi, the demands were endless. Every day she was expected to maintain the appearance of perfection, ensuring that every corner of Anmer Hall was spotless, every meal was fit for royalty, and every garment was pressed to perfection. But the physical toll was just the beginning. The real cost came in the form of emotional and mental exhaustion, the kind that creeps in silently and builds up over time. Imagine spending years dedicating every waking moment to someone else's life, organizing their meals, attending to their children, preparing their events, while your own life passes by unnoticed. For Saadi, the realization came slowly. It started with missed birthdays, then postponed plans, then the sinking feeling that her life was no longer her own.
The fact that relationships comes out so strongly through that is really powerful.
It was now a life that revolved around the royal family's every need and want. But Saadi wasn't alone in her struggle. After her departure, whispers began circulating among other staff members. They started questioning their own roles. Was the prestige of working for royalty worth the cost of their personal lives? Some staff members admitted to feeling trapped, torn between the allure of serving the most famous family in Britain and the reality of losing themselves in the process. One former palace worker revealed that they hadn't seen their own children for days at a time due to long working hours. Another staff member confided that they felt like they were living two lives, the public role of a loyal royal servant and the private life they barely had time to maintain. The emotional toll was real, and Sadi's departure became a catalyst for a broader conversation about the demanding nature of royal service. The royal family's expectations are rooted in tradition, a tradition that values loyalty, discretion, and unwavering dedication. But as modern workers enter the royal workforce, they bring with them different expectations, boundaries, work-life balance, and the right to personal time. And that's where the conflict begins. How can the royal family maintain its rigid standards while adapting to a workforce that seeks balance and respect for personal boundaries? Sadi's story highlighted a painful truth, that even the most prestigious job titles can come at a steep cost. The royal family may live in palaces, but their staff members are expected to live in the shadows, always present but never seen, always serving but never acknowledged. And while Sadi chose to walk away, many others remain, caught between the prestige of royal service and the desire to live a life of their own. This struggle isn't just about Sadi Rice, it's about the many unseen faces who work tirelessly behind the scenes, keeping the royal family's life running smoothly while their own lives are put on hold. And as more staff members question the price of their loyalty, the royal family may soon face a bigger challenge: how to retain trusted staff members without asking them to sacrifice everything. If your dream job required you to sacrifice your personal life, would you stay or walk away? Sadi Rice chose herself over prestige, a decision that's both bold and rare. What would you do? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more royal revelations.